Good morning, and we are live. Wow, you folks are already getting at it. We've had several donations already today. Pamela K, thank you for coming out so strong with $100 support. I appreciate you. That is huge. Unfortunately, I can't bring it up on the screen. But I am grateful. Thank you very much. Dave Barone says, I think we can all safely say any longer that Donald J. Trump is just a U.S. problem. He is a global problem. That is a fact. We're going to talk about Davos today. Before we do, we've got an incident happened here in Texas, and well, it was not pretty. It was not pretty. But before we do, let's go ahead and run that intro. All right. Well, you folks, there have been ICE protests going on, and just some good people here down here in Longview, Texas, decided to protest what was going on with ICE in Minneapolis. Some really nice people. Uh, five protesters, five protesters showed up. And just to give you some background information, this is Longview, Texas. This is whenever there's a protest, this is where they protest. They post up right here at the Longview Mall. This is Loop 281. You can see this is the main thoroughfare through Longview. And they will post up right here on this corner typically. They'll post up right there. And they'll hold signs and peacefully protest. As they were protesting, and these protesters aged and ranged from 64 to 91 years old. Wonderful, spunky 91-year-old woman was there. MAGA decided they didn't have a First Amendment right. MAGA bullies showed up and began to attack them violently. I was sitting, if you look at this intersection, let me put my cursor on it. I was right here. I was not there. I didn't know the protest was going on, or I would have gladly been there. I was running errands in Longview with Mrs. Texas Powell. And we were preparing to turn left here. I pulled up here at this spot right here, and I looked over and I saw the protest. And I was so proud of them. I was so proud of them. And I was just telling Mrs. Texas Paul, Tammy, thanks for supporting the show. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you. And y'all forgive my voice today. I had to do some yelling yesterday, and it hasn't quite come back yet. But yeah, I'm looking over and I'm seeing these folks, and they're holding cool signs. I mean, just really cool sign. And I just told Mrs. Texas Paul, hey, look over there, check that out. And I was just about to tell her, give a big thumbs up out the window. I'm going to honk the horn. Right as this MAGA criminal comes charging in, shoves a woman, grabs her sign and rips it up, proceeds to attack her again and attacks another protester. And the one man that was there, Bob, he did his best. He was an older gentleman. He did his best to try to push him off of them, and it just continued on. Before I start this video, this was a bystander video of what happened. Um, I want to call your attention to a couple things. That again, he'd already attacked 2 women. And before I play it, I want you to see that he's already struck Bob here before the video starts. This is someone else's bystander video. I saw this when he attacked the women. I saw that he was getting violent. He was getting rough. And he was putting his hands on them and he was assaulting these women. I floored it. I hung a right into the mall. And while this is going on, I am screeching into the mall parking lot, jumping out of my car. He's already punched Bob in the face right here. You see, Bob had a good cut on his chin right here. And then this happens. You see, you'll see here that I'll play it and then I'll break it down. You see, he hits Bob again, and he grabs this woman's sign. This woman is 91 years old. He hits her with the sign. That sign has a stick on the back of it. And then the Good Samaritan comes and convinces him that attacking elderly people is not the way to go. I don't know if you recognize the Good Samaritan there, but you see he punches Bob in the face. Again, Bob's already bleeding on on the left side of his chin there. You can't see it in this video. But yeah. I'm sorry, folks. I'm not going to stand there and I'm not going to watch somebody assaulting people, trying to take the First Amendment rights away. I'm not going to sit there and watch some piece of dirt attacking my elders. I'm not going to do it. They called the cops and they took video of his license plate. He left after this is why I say we are not the same. We are not the same. After assaulting these women and Bob, when he tried to stand up, he was not in control of his faculties at that point. When I knocked him down, he did not. I'm trying to choose my words very carefully here. He was not done when I knocked him down, and I had to discourage him further from attacking this woman because on the ground, you notice he drug her to the ground with him. I had to encourage him again not to attack this woman. He was loopy as hell. When he was trying to stand up, couldn't stand up at first. Then he dazed around, almost stumbled into the roadway, and these women that he had just attacked grabbed him and saved him. They all ran and stopped him. He was stumbling into that road. That road had traffic just screaming by. And these women saved his life. They did. He was going to fall into that street. He was going to go into that street. He was stumbling around on his way onto Loop 281. And those women put themselves in danger to go hold him and bring him back onto the grass. After he violently attacked them and told them they did not have First Amendment rights. The Constitution did not apply to them. We are not the same. We are not the same. Because I want to tell you, there was a very small pro-ICE protest that decided to post up after these folks. These folks, they show up. They don't just protest. They pick up trash. They leave a place better than they found it. And then these pro-ICE people show up, and these were young men. Young men. Not old fuckers like me. Young men. And they did nothing while this man attacked these women and attacked Bob. Nothing. They sat there and watched. We are not the same. We are not the same. I'm just glad that I was driving by. I mean, I can't believe the luck that I just happened to be there running errands to see this happen. I am so glad that I was able to be there. Lorraine, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. Kira loves Michael. Thanks for supporting the show. Martin, thank you, buddy. Thank you for gifting the memberships to people so everybody can be involved. But yeah, that's the part that shocked me the most. One, he's hitting women. Two, he's hitting people that are my elders. Three, in this place that's supposed to be all about the Constitution and freedom and rights and, all that other bullshit. And it's not bullshit. It's what our country's founded on. That was the wrong way to put that. But coming from MAGA, it's bullshit. Nobody. I mean, cars just streaming by. Just streaming by. That bystander was shooting video, not stopping this guy. It's a young woman. Didn't stop this guy. Just sat there with her phone out. I don't get it. I don't understand the mentality. I don't understand, and I told the officer there when I talked to the police when they showed up. I told them, I said, look, let me tell you the difference between a liberal and a conservative. Had it been this asshole out there, if I didn't know him at all, if I'd never interacted with him and you just changed the roles and he was out there standing with his Trump sign and somebody showed up ripping his sign up and beating the shit out of him, I'd have done the exact same thing. I'd have put a stop to it. But MAGA, them guys at the pro-ICE protest that was posted up behind them didn't do shit. Didn't do shit. And this went on for a while, folks. I was on the loop. I was in my car when this started. I had to literally wait for traffic to clear out so that I could cut right in front of traffic, drive into the mall parking lot, jump out of my car, and run over there. These guys were 50 feet away, standing there. We are not the same. We are not the same. We are not the same. Hear you, 45. Glad we still have white hats that ride in to save the day. You're only missing a horse. Thanks for standing up against evil. I guess a Honda will have to do. Janine, thanks for gifting memberships. I'm truly grateful. I am truly grateful. E.T. Paul shows a MAGA and anti-protester at the door. Paul, don't be surprised at them being further idiots, as we all know what they are. Yeah. But folks, we have to stand up for one another. We do. This is the last time I'm going to talk about this. We have got to stand up for one another. We do. We do. The government's, the police that showed up were fantastic. They really were. They were great. They were really great. And, they were explaining to me that this guy assaulted people that were over 65 years old, which makes it at minimum a class 3 felony. This guy is facing multiple. You see, he hit that 91-year-old woman takes her sign, which has a wooden stake in the middle of it, and hits her with it. And he punched poor Bob in the face several times. I mean, this guy's gone. Lorraine Mill, just for our fuck guys and fuck Trump coffee funds, and man, oh man, does that make our coffees a million times better? Thank you. I appreciate you being here. I really do. I really do. One second. I just saw a comment where somebody was talking about the pen. Yeah, the ride or die pins are in. They're going to be available in the store shortly. Shortly. Not quite up yet, but yeah. If you want to go to a protest and you want to show that you are a ride or die Democrat, and I want to remind everybody what a ride or die Democrat is. If y'all remember, I'll tell you the story from the beginning. I was a Bernie bro. Back in 2016, I was a Bernie bro during the primaries. I believe that we need to work within the party and pull the party left. That is what I believe. That is what I do every day. I think the party's moved a bit too far to the right, and we've got work to do to make it move. I supported Bernie because I like his policies. I like the fact that he focuses on social issues that we need to be addressing. We have moved too far to the right. We have. But when he lost New York, I can do math. I can do math. Vincent, thanks for always being here, brother. Thank you for always being here. I appreciate you, brother. When he lost New York, I could do math. There was no way for him to move forward. So I jumped on the Hillary train because I know the Democratic Party is the party of my values. They are. They are the party of my values. And I see the comments. We are going to talk about Davos and Mark Carney. I got a clip from Carney and whatnot, but stick with me. It's important. I want to talk about this. But I saw a lot of people that said things that just didn't make a lot of sense to me. It said the party robbed Bernie. Folks, I know how a primary works. I participated. I walked in and I voted for Bernie. I know how primaries work. There was no party in that voting booth with me. We decide who the candidates are, not the party. We decide. We have to walk into the voting booth and decide. And it made no sense to me. And I saw people foment that misinformation that somehow the party can choose the candidate. They can't. They can't choose the candidate. We choose the candidate. We walk into the voting booth and we decide. But that misinformation was fomented and just carried out everywhere. And I personally know people that were Bernie supporters that did not vote. They didn't. I know a couple that voted for Trump in 2016 because they were so mad that their candidate didn't. That's when I founded the Ride or Die Democrat movement. That's when I founded it. And it's really simple. And this is what it is. It's a pledge. It is a pledge. If you have a candidate and I have a candidate in a primary, we will fight like hell for our beliefs and where we want the party to go. We will. Amen, brother. Let's do everything we can. But you know what? If your candidate wins, I know the Democratic Party is the way forward. I know that even if our candidates differ, the basic values, the core values of taking care of American citizens is what drives the Democratic Party. I will walk in the booth and gladly vote for your candidate. And I expect you to do the same for mine. And that's what it means to be a ride or die. Let me see the hearts and skulls in the comments. That's what it means to be a ride or die Democrat. Skeet Sayre, we should do a MAGA sucks campaign just like they did with the disco sucks propaganda. Might actually work. That is great, my friend. That is great. George, thanks for always being here, brother. Thanks for always supporting the show. Jordan Miller says, I want Zorn Mamdani to change Fifth Avenue in front of Trump Tower to President Barack Obama Avenue. I would love that, man. I would love that. I would love that. But yeah, this is what it's all about, people. This is what it's all about. This is why I put these pins out there so that when we protest, Barbie music. I need to go back to see the video, but thank you for fighting the good fight, literally. My pleasure. It'll be out there. It's gonna be out there. You can go back in the replay and you can just play it again for yourself. Thank you to all the new members and thank you to everybody that's sharing memberships. But yeah, folks, this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. Tell people, show people, you know, you want to change things. You've got things that you want to do differently on social media. Great, great. That's all fantastic. But we don't piss on the brand. We don't suppress votes. We never do what happened in 2016 again, ever, ever. That's the whole point of being ride or die. That's why I want to see these. When I go to protests, I want to see people wearing these. Chandra Patton, thank you for being here. It's a statement that says, you know what? I'm fighting with you. I'm fighting with you, but I am not here to cut my nose off to spite my face. It's not going to happen. It is not. We're too smart for that. And I'm just curious, are Bob, Gene, Kelly, Colette, Dee, are any of y'all in the audience today? I know some of y'all are already right. I know some of y'all are already members of the community. I would love to recognize you for being brave enough to stand out there and stand up for what is good and right. And Jessica, I wanted to tell you I got your package yesterday. Thank you for the coffee. I appreciate it. Heidi Gordon, thank you, Texas Paul. Ice on American streets has emboldened the incels to get their aggression out. So glad you are here. I'm glad you people are here. I am glad you people are here. I was glad to see that protest. Katie, thanks for becoming a member. All right, let's do this. Let's talk about Davos. Let's talk about Davos. That was crazy. Yesterday was just Trump, I guess technically this morning, was humiliating in Davos. He was. We've talked about Davos before. If you're not familiar with what's going on, it's the World Economic Forum. Marcia, thank you for always being here. Fellow Texan, Texas whoop ass Paul. I am sure you emptied that cussing jar. I had some things to say. I haven't got my voice back just yet. Mike Daly, the Dim. Good morning, brother. Enjoying coffee and a Hero Forged cup and a ham sandwich suitable for indictment by Janine Pirro. Keep fighting. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I will. But yeah, if you're not familiar, this is Davos. It is postcard beautiful. It is postcard beautiful. It really is. Just stunning. And what makes it important to us today, if you like to ski, you can see the slopes carved into the Alps there. It is just absolutely, that's what it is. It's a ski village. It's just north of San Moritz. And it is just an absolutely stunning place. And once a year, the wealthiest of the wealthy get together for the World Economic Forum, and they give speeches. Politicians actually do most of the speeches up front. The movers and shakers, the broligarchs get together in the hotels and the back rooms, everywhere from Davos to Zurich, and hold meetings to basically carve up our globe. But it is a big deal. It is a big deal every year. And this is where we're talking about. It's an eastern, one second. There you go. It's in eastern Switzerland. You see the red circle here. You can see the location of it just south of Liechtenstein, centrally located in Europe. Other than the fact that it's just a stunningly beautiful place, it is centrally located in Europe for all of leaders to fly in. Very, very old money. See, it's situated down in the valley it's just stunning, just stunning. But yeah, this year there were some fireworks. This year was a little different. A lot of it is a lot of hopium sold at Davos usually. Oh, we're going to do this. We're going to do this about the world water supply. We're going to do this. Not this year, brother. Not this year. Mark Carney walked in, set the place on fire, and dropped a mic. I've got a clip for you here that I'm going to play for you. Pavlin, gracias for getting involved and proving we are definitely not the same. We are not the same, folks. We are not the same. That just disgusted me seeing those young, after I didn't pay any attention pulling in, but just seeing that group of young men just standing there doing nothing, fuck MAGA. Even their kids are fucking worthless. Oh, Jessica, thank you. That is the first cup of that coffee you sent me. That is fantastic. Woo, people. I need that bag to show y'all what that is some good coffee, man. Wow. Woo. But yeah, Mark Carney tore it up. He did. He set the mood. There's been some serious problems going on. Europe is backing away from the United States. This whole deal with Greenland was the straw that broke the camel's back. Europe has been talking. If you're a regular view, if you're part of the community, we've talked about this before. We talked about this during Ukraine, that during the early Ukraine invasion, that Europe had already been worked because of the last Trump administration, had already worked up military plans to continue on with NATO without us. Well, economically, they have decided that's it. It's really time to split the sheets. That was the entire theme that came out of every leader that spoke, except for, of course, Trump. And Trump just humiliated himself in the United States on the world stage. And I just want to take a moment. I know we have so many good people in this community and that are part of the Texas Paul Ride or Die community, that are from Canada, that are from Europe, that are from Northern Europe, the UK, Ireland. I get your emails. I know, folks. I read your emails. I respond to as many as possible. I know you're here, and I just want to say, on behalf of the vast majority of American people who royally fucked up in the last election, allowing these people, so many people that stayed home, will not be staying home again. They are not. We will handle this in the elections coming up. We will. But in the meantime, I just want to the comments that Trump made about Canada specifically, our Canadian brothers and sisters, I am so sorry. I just want to apologize on behalf of the American people for this disgusting individual that happens to be running our country right now. Our European friends, I apologize to you as well. The entire world, I apologize to you. This is not us. This is not our values. This is not who we are. And I am truly sorry. The Hen House, 1981. It is time to I-25 impeach and invoke the 25th Amendment, Don the Demented Sleeping Khan. You know what? We're going to get into this Davos stuff, but let me address that 25th Amendment. And I'm not saying you don't know this. I'm sure you do. Our audience is head and shoulders. Sorry, I just had a comment that reminded me that guy that attacked those protesters. You want to know the real kick in the pants? His wife, who went into complete panic mode when I took care of this, she was an Asian immigrant. Thick accent. She was his wife was an Asian immigrant. I just want you to imagine that just let that soak in, how screwed up these MAGA people are. This chode that attacked these people, his wife that was there, he terrified her running in and attacking these people. And then, when I had to stop the attack, she was even more terrified because she didn't know what I was going to do. You know, she didn't know my morals, my values. She was terrified for her husband, and just she's an Asian immigrant. Deborah Pummel, thank you for the Ride or Die Senior Women. Thank you for being here. Thank you. But yeah, Mark Carney killed it. To get back to Davos, I know I'm jumping around and I'm sorry. MAGA grinder Mike Johnson got his butt handed to him at the House of Commons. That did not go well either. That did not go well either. But to talk about your 25th Amendment, there are a lot of people out there. We need to remember this, and we need to communicate this to talk about your comment. Well, this is going to be a bit of a roundtable show, folks. We're going to talk about these comments as we go. We can't 25th Amendment him. We can't. That requires his cabinet to act. That would require pressure from Congress. Republicans control Congress, and they're okay with all of this. They are Trump. They are okay with this. The Republicans in this country are as filthy and horrible as Trump. They are. So the 25th Amendment is not on the table. It's not. And you replace Trump with Vance, who will not have the sway with the people that Trump does. When a cult leader goes, the cult never recovers. It never does. Hell, when I make that point, I always like to point out the fact that there are still Branch Davidians in Waco. You remember David Koresh and the Branch Davidians? Yeah, there's still Branch Davidians in Waco, but it's like 5 of them. They've never reconstituted. Once a cult leader goes, the cult goes. But Vance is a pure shill for Peter Thiel and the Broligarchs. He's out and out, open about it. He is not an improvement over Trump. So yeah, we need to be communicating to people that are saying, hey, let's 25th Amendment Trump, or let's impeach Trump. We need to be you are the smart ones in the room. And with that comes responsibility. You've got to be communicating that to people. You do. That is part of our job. That is part of being part of this community, folks. I'm sorry. It comes with responsibility. Dollar straws for kicking my guy out. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Believe me, I was gentle with this person compared to what he deserved. Chandra Patton, wonder how those who stayed home rather than vote for a woman are feeling right now. A lot of regrets out there. A lot of regrets on social media, even among the MAGA. There are regrets. There was a great video. I don't have it for you today, but it's going viral right now. It's hilarious. I mean, this guy's MAGA hat wearing, just a cartoonish example of MAGA. And this guy was going to prove us wrong and prove Trump right, and goes down to the grocery store and learns firsthand. Apparently his wife does the grocery shopping and he's unaware. Was going to prove that we liberals were lying, that grocery prices they're still going up. It's getting worse. And he in real time is shocked. And it's just, there's a lot of regret out there. And he has to say, they lied. ET, we have had more discharge petitions get through the House than ever before, but that requires a few repugs to get those things through. So 25th is a no. Yeah, definitely. We need to really keep our eye on what our possibilities are. But let's get back to Davos, folks. I really want to talk about this. Was Mark Carney, and you Canadians are so fortunate to have a leader like Mark Carney. I remember having a president that could speak this way.
We knew the story of the international rules-based order was partially false, that the strongest would exempt themselves when convenient, that trade rules were enforced asymmetrically. And we knew that international law applied with varying rigor depending on the identity of the accused or the victim. This fiction was useful, and American hegemony in particular helped provide public goods, open sea lanes, a stable financial system, collective security, and support for frameworks for resolving disputes. So we placed the sign in the window. We participated in the rituals. And we largely avoided calling out the gaps between rhetoric and reality. This bargain no longer works. Let me be direct. We are in the midst of a rupture, not a transition. Over the past 2 decades, a series of crises in finance, health, energy, and geopolitics have laid bare the risks of extreme global integration. But more recently, great powers have begun using economic integration as weapons. Tariffs as leverage, financial infrastructure as coercion, supply chains as vulnerabilities to be exploited. You cannot live within the lie of mutual benefit through integration when integration becomes the source of your subordination.
Wow. Drop the mic and walk off stage, man. Did you catch that? We're in the middle of a rupture, not a transition. That is the sentiment coming out of the EU. Basically, every EU country is, this is not a change in our relationship. This is not a transition. This is a rupture. This is a tear. This is a break from the United States. That is what Trump has done. That is what Trump has done. That is what MAGA has done. That is what their selfishness has done. That's what their worldview has done. DK Walk, this ride or die yellow dog Democrat is off to vote for Taylor Emmett for Texas SD9. Today is the first day of early voting, January 21st to 27, and election day, Saturday, January 31st. Thank you for reminding everybody, DK. I appreciate you doing that, man. We do have check in your part of the country. Folks, we got an election going on right here in Texas. People keep saying, oh, they're not going to let us vote. They're not going to let us vote. And I hate to mock you for saying that, but, you know, we keep voting. We keep voting. Trump does not control the election. States do. We're voting over and over and over again. When you say that, you're just a voter suppression machine is all you are. Instead of planning to vote and planning to get people to vote, you're sitting on social media saying they're not going to let us vote and wringing your hands. No, now is the time to get busy. Now is the time to get involved. Now is the time to make it happen. 5 p.m. somewhere says Carney is a carnivore. He is hungry for MAGA. I'm telling you, man, I don't think anybody's hungry for MAGA, brother. I don't. Eden Silver Fox, new member. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Glad you're here, my friend. Glad you're here. But yeah, this has been something. I mean, the EU, everyone's come out. They're talking about using their trade bazooka. If you don't know what the trade bazooka is, it is their anti-coercion instrument. It's something they put in place after watching China bullying Lithuania back in 2023. It's a series of steps that they have put together to act as a group, just like we do the United States. They act as the United States of Europe together and just attack whoever is attacking them. It includes tariffs, import-export controls, restricting foreign investment, banning companies from public doing business. It limits citizens from their of whoever they aim this at. It limits them from investing in their financial markets. It is something. It's nicknamed the trade bazooka. It's their anti-coercion tool. And they are talking about using it on us should Trump militarily try to take Greenland, which is just insane to actually say out loud, and insane that we don't know if he's going to be absolutely stupid enough to militarily attack an ally. An ally. Rich Lawton, just remember to push like and share buttons. Thanks, buddy. Thank you, Rich, for always being here. Thank you for the big support, my brother. Cannot do it without you, folks. The Carney's Tube Kurt, thank you for always being here, brother. The Carney speech is an era-defining Ich bin ein Berliner level speech of history. It is. Well said, sir. Way to say it. That speech from Carney will be in the history books. This is when everything changed direction. And man, he is not just talking the talk. He is. We talked in the last show about Canada's relationship with China. We've talked about how China is the big winner in this by being reserved and showing stability. They are absolutely stepping in. Brazil, India. There's a new trade agreement with South America that the EU has opened up, a free trade agreement that they've just signed into law that's got to go through their adjudication process yet, but it's going to make it. This is something, man. This is something. Shout out to the Canadian community here from George. But folks, I want you to compare that to this. And I just want to get this out of the way first. Trump was slurring badly during his speech. He was not okay. He was not okay. And the farther he got into it, the worse he sounded. McBasher says, I'll say it again. We're in the second Reformation. Got to survive the Inquisition to get to the Enlightenment. This is something, man. I tell you, this is scary times, actually, because this is the president of the United States of America. And again, to remind you, if a video doesn't pop up here, you're watching this on replay, it's because I had to go back and edit it out.
All caused by this horrible president. I'm asking Congress to cap credit card interest rates at 10% for 1 year. All caused by this horrible president. I'm asking Congress to cap credit card interest rates at 10% for 1 year.
Okay, yeah. Every bank in the universe replied, no, we're not going to do that. No, we're not going to cap credit card rates at 10%. Yet Trump keeps running around saying it like it's a thing. It's insanity. It is just insanity. His speech he gave the other day when he was talking about the economy and what's going on, they fact checked it and everything he said was false or a lie. Everything he said about inflation and jobs and it's all a lie. But he just says it over and over and over again. E.T., if Canada was to go to war with the U.S., first thing that they would do is cut off all electricity that they send south, which would cause huge blackouts. Where we're going with this is that, no, there isn't going to be a shooting war with the United States of America, but that we are very much in danger of having an economic war. And while Canada militarily cannot get into a kicking ass with us, financially, yeah, Mark Carney laid it out in the rest of his speech that, yeah, we can rip our investments back. We can. Japan, any one of these nations that decides just it's over, we're dumping U.S. treasuries, can do severe damage to our country, severe long-term damage to our country. They don't have to get into a military kicking ass contest with us. Economically, they can cripple us. Ned Adal, thank you for always being here, part of our European audience. If Trump imposes tariffs on 8 countries, we will know on February 6th whether the EU will use the bazooka. Just if you know, in the last few minutes, there's actually been some movement on that. We're going to get to that in just a second. I want to play a little bit of what Trump is talking about. George Island, the flight, Paul, it's a long one. He's really not well. Yeah. And if you didn't hear, Air Force One had to turn back and they had to swap planes because Air Force One had electrical problems. The lights in the cabin quit working, so they freaked out and brought up, they had to change planes. So it was an extra long flight. We have already destroyed Florida and Kentucky bourbon. Oh my God, Skeeter, yeah, that's a whole segment for a show. The United States spirits industry may never recover, ever. But it was so bad. He couldn't remember who Ursula von der Leyen was. He insulted her. He insulted several leaders. Insulted Canada directly. But could not remember people's names in the speech. Couldn't remember. I mean, if a hillbilly Paul can, the president should be able to, right? Right? I couldn't remember people's names. And then for the remainder of his speech, and I don't mean this was a slip, this was a huge portion of his speech confused Iceland and Greenland. I kid you not. I kid you not. I got the video here. Hold on. Michael Kelly, the sane washing is crazy. Flipping through the news and the way they cover it is mind blowing. Imagine if Biden or Obama did anything like this. Exactly. The corporate media is just useless. He really did this. Why is it? If Biden did this, this would be front page news for at least a week.
I don't know that they'd be there for us. They're not there for us on Iceland, that I can tell you. I mean, our stock market took the first dip yesterday because of Iceland. So Iceland's already cost us a lot of money. But that dip is peanuts compared to what it's gone up. And we don't know that they'd be there for us. They're not there for us.
Yeah. And yes, this is happening. Here, you're 45. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Japan has already ramped up selling their U.S. treasuries. The dollar is slipping, and I'll pull it up here in a minute, but the bond yields are rising because lack of demand. Remember, Trump was going to dump billions of dollars into bonds to bring interest rates down. Yeah, that's not going to work. That's not going to work because countries like Japan are already selling off their treasuries. U.S. Treasury. But yeah, it was not a one-off deal that he confused Iceland for Greenland. This was a huge portion of his speech, and it got worse. Prepare to I don't even know what to tell you about. I don't even know what to tell you about this. As an American, you'll see the reactions in the comments. But the president of the United States went to Davos before the most powerful people in the world, knowing that the entire world's media would be watching. And he said this.
Europe, I'm helping NATO, and I've until the last few days when I told them about Iceland, they loved me. They called me daddy, right? Last time. Very smart man said, he's our daddy. He's running it. I was like running it. I went from running it to being a terrible human being. Europe, I'm helping NATO, and I've until.
I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I don't have words. I don't. George, has Trump got a box bag suit now? Oh, man. 5 p.m. somewhere, Air Force One electrical issue was Village People 8-track got stuck in the player. Y'all are something. Y'all are something, man. Oh, my God. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I don't have any more. I can't stand listening to Trump talk. There was so much more to it. I'm not going to play any more of his videos. I'm just not. I just wanted you to understand what the rest of the world is seeing, because it does not jive with what the corporate media articles are about this. the sane washing in the corporate media. It's the American people, MAGA especially, are not being shown any of this. They're not being told any of this at all. Jeremy Breeden, absolutely embarrassing that enough people in the U.S. voted for this imbecile to the highest office in the land. Yeah, brother. It is. It is humiliating. Cheryl Goodell, thank you for being here. Thanks for supporting the show. Yes, NATO called me daddy, is what that man said about himself. This is insane. The world has not reacted well to his insanity. Global markets are not reacting well. The Dow yesterday plunged like 870 points at one point. It has recovered to a degree. People do the buy the dip thing. So yeah, there's some money pouring into the market, but there's some other issues that are happening. EU is not taking this sitting down. They aren't. Mike Daley, the Dem, it's the president of the USA, and he needs to talk about elder care for daddy. Yeah, I 100%, 100%. I agree with you, 100%. Synchronicity, what a name. I love that, man. I love Sting. Stop with the Trump videos. Yeah, I did. Trust me. I don't like to hear him talk. You don't like to hear him talk. I'm already ahead of you there. We don't have to apologize. I'm sure the world knows, but we should share this. Every MAGA we know. We do have to apologize. We do. We do. We are America here. The Americans in the audience, we own this. We own this. Bugman Jolly KK, please give this money to Gangsta Kitty. I appreciate you. Spicy Jester, one's dignity may be assaulted, vandalized, and cruelly mocked, but it can never be taken away unless it is surrendered. Michael J. Fox, Democrats must unite and fight. Every single vote matters. Boy, that is true. Look at what just happened in South Carolina. If 100 people had decided that their vote mattered and showed up, oh, what a different conversation we'd be having right now. George Allen, my father hates Donald Trump's voice, won't listen to him. I'm with you. I am with you. But I think it's important to point out when the president of the United States is slurring his words, can't remember world leaders' names, confuses the name of a country that he's threatened to invade multiple times. I think that's important. I think that's important. I'm sure the people of Iceland were not pleased to hear this. 5 p.m. somewhere, Trump attacked by binder clips. Staples need to worry. Y'all are something, man. The way y'all have a sense of humor going through this. Chandra Patton, y'all keep me going, really. You really do. Chandra Patton, they made a big deal when Biden made a slip in a speech or a stumble. Where are they, the media, with the idiots' constant bullshit now? It is something, man, because there's nothing in the news coverage of his mental decline. Nothing of him calling Greenland, Iceland over and over and over and over again. And it seems somewhat pertinent because, this is what the Dow was doing right before the show opened. It was slightly, I don't know if it's continuing to recover or if the news that's just come out of the EU just minutes ago is putting a damper on this. I'm not sure. I'll have to go check live, but this is what was going on just before the show. I mean, markets are not digging this. Bitcoin took a huge dump. And again, you've got people that are buying in the dip there, but I don't know. I mean, Trump is continuing the same stupid rhetoric. And Europe is not shrugging it off, despite what Scott Bessent said, that everybody should just lay back and relax and not react. Yeah, don't react to Trump saying that he's just going to take your land away. And folks, I just want to point something out to you. The idiocy of all of this, the idiocy of all this. We already have an agreement with Greenland. If we want to mine there, we can. We can. If we want to put bases there, they're like, come on. We had this relationship with Greenland already. There's no point in any of this idiocy. American companies were welcome. If anybody wanted, they could have set up shop there. This is about Trump controlling the assets. This is criminal. This is corruption in the extreme. We already have bases there. Insane. This is insane. And the fact that the corporate media is not telling people this. People are being told that there's some barrier to the United States doing business, or, that Fox News and Newsmax are wondering, well, this is security for the Western Hemisphere. And they said, bullshit. We could put bases there. Nothing stopping us. Nothing. And when I say nothing stopping us, I mean, Greenland welcomed us to do it. I mean, it's not like we were doing it over their will, like we were bullying our way in. We were friends. We were friends. None of this is necessary. And the corporate media is not telling anybody. I mean, I think it's, if you're going to call yourself news, it's important. And forgive my voice, it keeps squeaking out on me. If you're going to tell the American people that the president of the United States wants to invade Greenland, you might want to tell them that this is no different than invading Minneapolis, in that it may not be American sovereign territory, but we are welcome. This is about corruption. The only benefit we get from grabbing that territory and calling it the United States of America is that Donald Trump is going to be able to control with his fat, greasy, corrupt little fingers that he'll be able to get payola. We're looking at open corruption. And the corporate media has failed to explain that to people. Skeet Sayer, does no one know the history of World War II? U.S. had 17 bases on Greenland in the 70s. I mean, yeah, these were friends. These were friends. I mean, really, American company, hey, we would like to, set up a mine and hire some people. The people in Greenland were like, cool, jobs, come on. Mind-blowing. Trump's Greenland crusade. Trump's Greenland crusade pushes European allies to breaking point. Yeah, I would say that a rupture, the way Mike Carney put, is a better description, because people are just waking up to this today. Hollister 8109, I hate riding the conspiracy train, but everything he does is exactly what a Putin asset would do. Time for the other Four Eyes to release what they know. He's talking about the Five Eyes intelligence agreement that we had, but is non-existent anymore because Europe no longer trusts us. Yeah, they're not sharing intelligence with us anymore. Michael Aiden, thank you for being here. Michael Aiden, thank you for being here. Appreciate you for supporting the show, Michael. Thank you. Cannot do it without you. I'm so good to see you. Stephen Leach, thank you. Under the weather a lot, lurking Go to see your fam. Thank you, Texas Paul and Mrs. Texas Paul. No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I just did a lot of screaming at that guy, screaming orders at that guy yesterday, and it was a problem. Lost my voice. But yeah, this just happened, and I'm kind of curious. I'm going to go back and check the Dow right now. I'm kind of curious how the Dow is reacting to this. But yeah, it's a done deal. It is a done deal. There's just minutes before the show, this broke. EU lawmakers freeze EU-U.S. trade deal over Trump after Trump tariff threat. Yeah, we had a deal. We had a deal. By we, I mean Trump, and everybody's learning that a deal with Trump is worthless. Absolutely worthless. But yeah, let's take a peek real quick how the Dow is doing. It may be recovering. People like to buy that dip. Looks like the exuberance is over. This is today. Whenever there's a big market plunge, you're always going to see the following day or 2 days later a big buy-in of people trying to find bargains. But yeah, apparently the news in the EU is not enough to sustain because it's already started to nosedive again. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. This is the Dow right now. It peaked out with all the buy-ins, people buying back in to try to get stocks at bargain prices, the long-term investors. And it's already started to nosedive back down again because the news isn't good. The news just isn't good. Not economically, and folks, you've got things like this. This has just happened. This is Tengiz, Kazakhstan. I know you got to be telling yourself, Tengiz, Kazakhstan, what the hell does that have to do with me? Wait for it. It does. It is affecting your life right now. Tengiz, Kazakhstan. Tengiz is an oil field in western Kazakhstan. And it is affecting your life right now, today. This is the Tengiz oil platform. If you're a long-time member of the show, you'll remember that the Ukrainians were able to hit an offshore drilling platform in the northern Caspian Sea. This is Kazakhstan. You see the location here. If you're not familiar with it, Ukraine is way to the west here. Russia is to the north. Kazakhstan used to be a Soviet state. They're an independent, mostly independent nation. This is due north of Iran, the Caspian Sea, folks. Baku is here. China is off to the east. But this is Kazakhstan, and this is the Tengiz Basin in Kazakhstan. It is part of this massive oil field that is in the North Caspian Sea, and it's run by Chevron. Well, they just had a fire at the power production facility that runs all their pumping stations and everything. So oil production is shut down. The Kazakh State Oil Company and Chevron have declared force majeure, which we talked about that in a previous show, that it's written into every contract, especially minerals contracts, that if there's what they consider an act of God or an uncontrollable circumstance, they don't have to meet their contractual obligations. Yeah, and it's this happened. But here's the thing where I'm going to throw the conspiracy theory thing out there. I don't like to be a conspiracy theorist, but they're not telling us why. There were two separate fires in the same facility, the same exact way. They're saying, don't worry about it. It's a transformer fire. and it's going to take 7 to 10 days to get it up and running. What? If it's a transformer fire, folks, they this is the oil industry, and this is Chevron, man. They've got big dollars. They can bring in a brand spanking new transformer overnight. Overnight, they can get one of these in there, flown in. Yet it's going to be 7 to 10 business days that this is shut down, and it's caused oil to spike. It has, given crude prices that have been slipping due to Trump's disastrous world economy. Yeah, it gave him a bit of a spike, a bit of a bump. Brent and West Texas Intermediate and Western Canada Select have all trended upwards over the last few days over what happened in Tengiz, Kazakhstan. And this is where I'm going to throw the conspiracy theory thing out there. Ukraine just hit a platform in the northern Caspian. And it was, to say it made the ground move beneath the oligarch's feet is an understatement. The oil production out of the Caspian fields and the Kazakh fields have been relied upon, insulated from this war. So they have not felt that urgency. They're like, well, this will never be interrupted. If this was sabotage or a drone attack, because folks, the way these transformers work, they have to be cooled. They get very, very, very hot, and they have to be cooled. And everything is submerged in a vat of oil, and it's sealed shut. And the way people have discovered that they can, we saw this here in the United States. You saw suddenly at substations going down because these saboteurs figured out that they could shoot small transformers and put a hole in them. And if you shoot them at the base, the oil drains out. And no one knows because no one monitors these substations at all until that transformer catches on fire and blows up because there's no coolant left in it, yet there's tons of oil residue in there. Yeah, these big transformers are full of oil. What happened here to have two of them in separate parts of that facility, both catch on fire, one right after the other? I mean, I don't know, folks. I don't know. I think if it turned out to be sabotage or a drone strike, I think they're very much not wanting to tell the world that, because it doesn't make sense that they would be down for 7 to 10 days. It just doesn't. Folks, this is, you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars that are just vaporizing. They'll move heaven and earth to get this power facility back up. For it to take 10 days is unheard of. So yeah, I think you're going to see more to this story. I think in a few months, when they're not scared of it, they're going to say, oh yeah, this was definitely sabotage or definitely a drone attack or something along those lines, but it's cool. We got it under control now. But yeah, folks, your oil prices are spiking right now. George Allen, that pin looks fucking badass. I'm getting me one. Yeah, I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate it. I would love to see these at protests. I would love to see people saying, "Hey, look, we're not gonna throw the baby out with the bathwater. We're here to change things. We're here to make things better. But no, we're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. We're not." And this was part of their press release. Just I want you to hear what I'm talking about. That made me say, Kazmane Gas. That is the Kazakh state oil company that runs this field with Chevron. It is a Chevron managed field. Kazmane Gas said 2 fires broke out on January 18th at transformers serving different generation trains at the GTS-4 power plant, which supplies electricity to oil and gas processing facilities in Tengiz. Both fires were extinguished, and the field and related infrastructure were described as safe and secure. Weird. I mean, safe and secure, really? I mean, okay. If it was just a fire, it was just a fire. But no, it was 2 fires, 2 separate parts of this facility that are not interconnected. It isn't like one transformer blew up, so oh well, the strain caused another one. No, these are 2 separate trains in this facility. I mean, they're not, and they same day. Poof. That seems fucking impossible. Deglado, can you do an update on the Syria situation? I see news outlets I trust criticizing Trump's dealing with the new leader, but I recall you're saying that he should be worked with because he wanted to stop the fighting. He is using us. Ahmed al-Shara is using us brilliantly. We are doing his dirty work in Syria. Yeah, it is really something. While we're handling ISIS for him, he has been attacking the Kurds. Remember, I showed you in Syria where the northern oil fields are. And forgive the way the show's jumping around. I decided before we started that yeah, we're gonna roundtable this the whole show and deal with your comments as they come. This is Syria. Just go to the map. Let's go to the map. This is Syria. We have bases in this general area, and this is where the Islamic State and stuff tends to operate. We have been doing all of Ahmed al-Shara's heavy lifting there. Yeah, our soldiers are fighting on the ground right there today, freeing up his forces to move northeast. This is the Kurdish area all around Al-Hasaka, Kamishi. This is the Kurdish areas of Iraq over here. You see Mosul, probably familiar with Mosul. But yeah, the Kurds controlled this area they were part of the coalition that freed Syria with Ahmed al-Shara. After being rid of Bashar al-Assad, Bashar al-Assad. I am tongue-tied right now. You have to forgive me. That coalition started to serve their own interests. We saw some fighting in which Israel got involved in the south. ISIS. We've handled ISIS for Syria, and the Kurds were demanding autonomy. They were demanding control of their own state, and they said, no, we're going to be one country. We're going to be one country. And let me see if I can get you a headline. But Ahmed al-Shara said, no, we're going to be one country. And they ended up shooting at each other. And without any worry about ISIS or what's going on or being distracted in other parts of the country, thanks to us, he's made strong inroads and taken quite a bit of territory from the Kurds and forced them to capitulate. They are making a deal. Let me get you a headline. There you go, from the New York Times. This was for another show, but you mentioned it. We'll roundtable it. We'll talk about it. For Syria's government, Kurdish deal is a big win on shaky ground. This solidifies Ahmed al-Shara's position. It does. It is a done deal. This. I don't know any better way to put it, other than this is it. It's over. There's no one else. He still has support of the Turkish-backed forces in the north. The Turkish-backed militias in the north did not, for the lack of a better word, revolt against him. It was just the Kurds that were looking for autonomy in the north, and basically we fucked them again. We did. We screwed them in Iraq, and we screwed them here. We did. We used them and screwed them. There's no other way to put it. No other way to put it. Now, Ahmed al-Shara can focus on the Islamic State in Syria and in that threat, which we've done a pretty good job of. The problem is we don't want to invade and hold territory anymore like we did with Iraq. So we're doing the whole fire base kind of thing like we did in Vietnam, where we stayed in our own little controlled territory and would just go out and attack something and then come back home. Ahmed al-Shara does not have that problem. He can invade these territories after we weaken them and hold them. He can do it. So yeah, Syria is now cemented under the control of Ahmed al-Shara, and we're going to see what he builds. I actually am optimistic. Sherry Purpura, did anyone see the news conference the Minnesota Department of Agriculture had? They produce a whole lot of food for us, and they are worried. No, I didn't catch that. Thanks for tipping me off. We'll have to look into it. We will have to look into it. Mike Daly, the Dim, artificially keeping prices up? Could be. That is definitely a possibility. He's talking about the magic transformer fires that suddenly cause prices to spike. But that would cost Chevron a whole lot of money to do that. And the way that works, folks, is these major multinational. See, Chevron's not drilling every well there. They're not. It's like out in West Texas here, out in the Permian Basin. Chevron does not drill a lot of wells out there, yet their oil production has increased 500% or fivefold, not 500%, fivefold in the last 5 years. That is something. And how do they do it? Well, they went in early into the basin. Same thing with Kazakhstan. They went in early. They did a ton of drilling, secured a bunch of rights. So now everybody that drills a well is Chevron's partner, and Chevron takes a cut. Same thing with what's going on in Kazakhstan right now. It's not Chevron's facilities that are being destroyed. It's the Kazakh State Oil Company. But Chevron just takes 20%. It is what it is, folks. It is what it is. But yeah, I lied to you. I have one more Trump video for you. And I'm just going to play it out of respect to our Canadian friends. I want you to hear what they are hearing. I hate hearing Trump speak. You hate hearing Trump speak. I don't want to do it. I don't like it. But I think it's important that you hear. George Allen, did you see that dickhead Trump spraying cologne? Yeah, I did. On Ahmed al-Shara. Yeah. Spraying Trump cologne on him. What a humiliation. He is at one humiliation after another, after another. But yeah, you asked about Syria. That's it. That's it. No, I have one more video. We have so many people in our community that are Canadian. They are our Canadian brothers and sisters. And it is important for you. I know you don't want to hear it, but it is important. It's important. Trump said this to Canada at Davos in front of the entire world.
For national and international security and to keep our.
Listen to him slurring and look at the man. Just look at the man. He is dying right in front of us.
For national and international security and to keep our very energetic and dangerous potential enemies at bay is this land on which we're going to build the greatest golden dome ever built. We're building a golden dome that's going to, just by its very nature,
the Golden Dome, because Trump likes everything gold. He's talking about trying to replicate what Israel has created in its tiny little territory, the Iron Dome, where they have spent massive amounts of their treasure on arms because, Benjamin Netanyahu's a fucking war criminal. So they constantly have to be armed to the teeth. The Golden Dome is their air defense system. He is thinking that in a nation the size of the United States, remember Ronald Reagan gave up, remember Star Wars? After spending billions of our dollars, they gave up on Star Wars because it's just not feasible in a nation the size of the United States. Trump here wants to create a Golden Dome, which is the American Trump gross vomitous version of the Iron Dome. That's what he's talking about there.
Going to be defending Canada. Canada gets a lot of freebies from us, by the way. They should be grateful also, but they're not. I watched your prime minister yesterday. He wasn't so grateful. But they should be grateful to us. Canada lives because of the United States. Remember that, Mark, the next time you make your statements. For national and international security and to keep our.
So, yeah. That slurring, doddering old freak sat at Davos, humiliated himself, humiliated the United States of America, and insulted our allies and friends. I was watching a commentator talk about this the other day, about our relationship with Canada and how close our relationship to Canada was. And I'm not just talking, trade deals or military alliances. I'm just talking as a people. You fucked with Canada, you fucked with us. That was like our brother from another mother. Same mother, but yeah, you get it. You know what I'm saying there. Yeah. And you have this. You have this. And I don't really, I'll be honest with you. It's my job to have the words. I don't know an appropriate apology there. I really don't. I really don't. Other than to say, we will fix this. We will. George Allen, one of my favorite places to go as a youngster was Canada. Thanks, Paul. You know what? I'm telling you, I've been, and I absolutely love Canada. It is a great place. It is amazing just the way it feels when you cross the border. We went to, an example, if you ever get a chance to go to Niagara Falls, breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking. Go to the Canadian side. Not only is the view of the falls better, because the falls from the American side are kind of like over here at an angle like this, but from the Canadian side, you're looking directly on them. Not only is the view better, but the parks are spotless. The people are super friendly. It is just a great, I mean, just the feel from one side to the other. The American side, a lot of Niagara is dirty. It is. It's just dirty. I don't mean to insult Niagara, New York. I don't. It's just, but you know. I mean, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. It is really cool, man. It is really cool. And just to see Trump insulting our best friends, it's heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. And we are going to fix this. We are. It's just going to take a lot of work on our part. And, it's our work to do. Random for us, I'm picturing a dome like Hunger Games over the U.S. with tacky gold leaf decals all over it. No shit. No shit. Forgive me, I had to sneeze there. Jordan Teether. Meanwhile, in Sydney, beaches are closed. 4 shark attacks in 4 days. Anyone want to buy a home? Buy some F-35s, near new, good condition. Yeah. I've actually got a story for you for the next show that involves Australia, and you're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this show. But yeah, folks, that's what I've got for you today. If there's anything, we'll hang out for a few minutes and do a roundtable. If there's anything else you'd like to talk about, I'm more than happy to do it. But yeah, it was my pleasure. Bob, D, all of you that were out there, I'm so proud of you for standing out there protesting, and I'm really sorry that is a problem here. That is a problem here. I actually just a few days before what happened yesterday happened, I was speaking at a indivisible watch party, and I got to tell you, the sentiment came up yet again. Hey, we live here. I was talking about being proud. I was talking about being a proud and loud Democrat. And the response I got back is, "Ooh, I want to be, but I don't. If I put a bumper sticker on my car, they'll vandalize my car. That's who MAGA is. People around here know it. They won't exercise their First Amendment because of things like this. Because MAGA cannot control themselves. One of the officers on the scene, I hope I don't get him in trouble when I say this, but he was talking about that very thing. He says, we never have trouble with you people. The left will have a rally and it'll be peaceful and it'll be, a bunch of people just having a good time. But every time we have political violence in Longview, Texas, it's MAGA. It's right-wingers. They are just violent people. We are not the same. We are not the same. Hey, Funny, thank you for being here. Thanks for supporting the show, my friend. I appreciate you. Cannot do it without you. I'm super grateful. Thank you. Thank you to all the new members. Appreciate you being here. Thank you. Lenny Exley, thank you. George Allen, have you heard about that shit about Trump base on the moon? Oh my God, he's not talking about that shit again. He's not talking about that space farce Trump base shit again, is he? Oh my God, they started talking about that during his first term. He will talk about anything but the Epstein file. They are terrified of 2 things, people. 2 things. They don't want to talk about the Epstein files, and we've got some movement on the Epstein front. That'll be for the next show. They don't want to talk about the Epstein files, and they don't want to talk about the economy. They don't want to. They're not going to not be able to talk about either one of those things. They are coming. They are coming. There's so much going on in the courts with the Epstein files and additional files that congressional Democrats have been able to get their hands on. And as soon as they get their hands on them, they release them to us. Keep an eye. They're coming out. I told you it's just going to be a drip, 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 drip. But they are terrified to talk about either of those two things. So we've got this kind of con man idiocy. Did you hear that Trump has, what was it, 1.4 or 1.8 billion dollars the Trump family has made in the first year of his presidency? It's just disgusting. It's disgusting. Hollister, 8109, went to college 20 miles from the Canadian border, got first tattoo in Ottawa, Montreal, and Old Quebec City are beautiful. This is all a travesty. It is. And it's going to take us years. Trust is not instantaneous or free in the entire world. I'm telling you, if you watch European media, from Macron to Keir Starmer to, just where you're talking about Van der Leyen, where you're talking about the EU, whether you're talking about every speech is the same thing. We are on our own. We can no longer trust the United States of America. We must economically right our ship so that we are no longer tied to the United States of America. And it is heartbreaking to see people that are your allies that you considered friends we did. I'm telling you, we considered us, our European friends. That's the way Americans looked at y'all. Not that, we know that you're your own countries and your own union. We know all that. We're not talking about it in a disrespectful way. And it got us in trouble as tourists sometimes. Some places didn't really dig it, but we would show up and we're like, "Hey, there's our people," and that's just the way we thought about it. And just to see speech after speech after speech of people saying, we cannot trust you anymore. We have to move on without you. It's heartbreaking as an American. It really is. McBaster says, as a young man, all my girlfriends were Canadian. You wouldn't know them. No, wrong border, friend. Wrong border, my friend. Stacy Swanson, may the farce be with you. Thank you, brother. I just got to know if the pins will be on the store today or tomorrow. I did want to tell you, thank you for the coffee. This stuff is great, by the way. I don't know. Let me see if I can get it up there for the camera to take a look at it. This stuff is great. I'm telling you. I would tell you that, I always hope your coffee's as good as mine. Well, I hope it's better, but I don't know how you're pulling that shit off today because that stuff is good, man. And yes, shout out to Midas always. My brother's over at Midas. Love it. Love to see him all the time. Those are some good guys, man. They really are. Candy Sarici, thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the show. And I know I probably horribly mispronounced your last name. I'm sorry. Oh, I do want to do a quick PSA and shout out about the weather. If you are in the sights of this storm, you've got about a day and a half to prepare. We went and bought some water yesterday. It was part of the what I told you. We were in town running errands. I wish I'd have known about the protest. I didn't. Hell, I'd have been there. This would have been a very different story. I'd have been there, but I didn't know about it. And we were running errands in town, and it was just, but we went and picked up some water, some extra water to have some water on hand just in case. I highly recommend, if you've got a bathtub that you don't have to use, fill it with water. Fill it with water. Because you never know. The company that provides our water to our home is very susceptible to power outages, very susceptible to cold weather. So fill up a bathtub with some water, keep a pitcher there, and I'll tell you why. No water, your toilets quit working. But if you've got a bathtub full of water, you can take a pitcher, fill up the tank yourself, and flush the toilet as need be. Scrub out your bathtub. You never know how long you're going to have to rely on that water. For us, it's probably going to be about a day because, yeah, they're already warning us the grid ain't going to make it, man. This is going to be too hard of a freeze for too long. We're going to lose power. Be prepared to heat your home. Have alternate sources of heat. Make sure that you got the blankets out. Make sure you just be prepared. If you got old folks, maybe bring the old folks with you. You know, maybe take care of your people, your pets. Watch your pets, people. This isn't going to be down south here. We're not used to it. This is like Minnesota cold we're about to have. Okay, this is the real deal. This ain't the shit that we normally get here in Texas that's coming this way this weekend. So yeah, be prepared and make sure that you don't have to do a lot of driving and whatnot. That is happening this weekend. It really is. And one second. Forgive me 1 second. Skeet there. Climate change is so real. Did anyone see the amount of snow a city in eastern Russia got? It looked like a movie. Folks, I'll do you one even worse than that. I will do you one even worse than that. It is January 21st, and my trees have blooms. You know, I've got a little hobby orchard here, and then I've got some ornamentals out back. I have early peaches, some early peaches, and these ornamentals are supposed to bloom early so that we get flowers all year long. They're supposed to bloom around February, the mid to late February. They're already bloomed. They've already bloomed. Folks, that's a big deal. It is a big deal beyond what you think it is, because those blooms are going to die the first big freeze that we have. And I don't know if you know this, but one of the things that we grow here in Texas is peaches. And if these peach orchards are seeing these blooms set and we get this Siberian Express rolling through, yeah, that affects your food prices, man. That affects your food prices. This is a real problem. This is a real problem. And I get it. You've got to be the smart ones in the room, because the dumbass MAGA people, they don't get it. George Allen, thanks, Paul, for mentioning the weather event. Please be safe. Forgive me for slurping my coffee. Oh, and I almost forgot Jessica. Same Jessica who sent the coffee. I want you to see these. She makes these cards. These are incredible. She sent me a batch of them. This is our community, folks. This is why I say enjoy the live chat. We've got amazing people in this community. I want you to see these. Forgive the camera jumping in and out. I want you to see how beautiful these things are. I don't know that I want to send these out, but look at these. Look at these watercolors. These are cards, folks. Look at these. Aren't these just beautiful? They're greeting cards that she makes. Aren't these just gorgeous? Just gorgeous. I was just so taken back. Look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? Thank you so much, Jessica. That was so kind of you. I love these things. But yeah, they are incredible. The talent that you people have is just amazing. It just amazes. I wish I had it. I wish I had it. I'm so unartistic. You would think I eat crayons. But those are pretty, aren't they? pretty. But folks, that's what I've got for you today. If there's anything else you've got to discuss, we got about 5 more minutes, or we can call it your choice, whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. This is your show right now. Oh, some people were asking to see that video again in chat. Here, I'll run that video for you real quick while you think about anything else you want to talk about. But yeah, pay attention before you see me come running in and bulldog this guy. Pay attention to the fact that he hits a 91-year-old woman, drags her to the ground, and I have to make him stop attacking her. I mean, not only did I knock him, not only did I buffalo the guy, but I had to literally stand over him and make him stop attacking her. I mean, these people are disgusting. We are not the same. We are not the same. Look at this jackass. And he hits her with the sign. Bam, just hits her with it. I mean, that was a big old chunk of wood. I had to make him, like, you see that they're trying to help her up. I had to make him stop. I don't know what is wrong with these people. I do not. And then they were so nice. They were so nice that after he had attacked him, I mean, they were pissed. Don't get me wrong. They were furious. They were pissed. But when this guy goes ambling towards the highway, they saved his life. I'll be sharing that video on my social media. Yeah, Stacy Swanson, my cat Bosco would make a better president. I'd vote for Bosco over Trump. I really would. This Vermonter married a Texan for a reason. It wasn't the size of his hat. Grace, you're something else, man. You're something else. Oh my God. You are funny. You are funny. Vote for Bosco. Yeah. Oh my God. Bosco for president. All right. Since y'all haven't come up with another one, I want to throw one more point back out there. There is a push on social media right now by people that are not politically involved. They come on social media and they talk politics. It's not their expertise. It is their social media to do with as they will. It is. This is a free country. It is. But they are unaware. They are unaware of what they do or the dynamics at play. And right now they are setting us up in a lot of trouble. They're setting us up for a lot of trouble. They are demanding on social media, especially Blue Sky. God, I love each platform is different. Blue Sky, Threads, Facebook. I will put the same video out across all my platforms, Instagram, YouTube. I'll put it out and it will get met so differently on every platform because believe it or not, people don't really migrate from platform to platform. If you're a multi-platform person, you are a rarity. You're like 4% of the population. Most people go to one platform and that is where they stay. They're a Facebook person, they're a Threads person, they're a Blue Sky. The people over on Blue Sky have amazing energy. They are fired up. You remember that speech from President Obama, where he was talking about the local Democrat there when he came to the meeting, and the woman in the back walks in the room. She yells, "Fired up!" And everybody responded with "Fired up!" And then he was like, after a while, that was a great speech. If you ever get a chance to see it, see it. Yeah, each platform is different. And I got to tell you, especially on Blue Sky right now, they are demanding that we shut the government down to defund ICE. And that is not going to happen. It is not going to happen. And it's not because Democrats don't care or Democrat loves ICE and we're both the same. All the shit they're already saying, that voter suppression shit, they are already saying it. It is because of the refunds, folks. It is. It is because of the tax refunds. We have to remember so many of the people out there that are going to vote in this next election are not us. They're not you. You can listen to an hour and a half to 2 hour show. They couldn't dream of getting through a show this long. They couldn't. That's why there aren't that many people doing this format, because you can't pull in the stupids doing this. You can't. You whittle away your audience when you do this just to people that are plugged in, intelligent, smart, analytical people. That's the only people that can do this format. That's it. And we have to remember that what's out there, the 30-second TikTokers, all they know is that they want that refund, man. They want that refund. And most of them, I'm ashamed to say, most of our Americans friends out there, I have learned, don't know how the government functions. They don't. They don't know what being in the majority and being in the minority means. So we have to take the lead. You are the leaders on social media. You are. You just are. And I know you may not want it. You may want to just enjoy your social media or come check something out. Just that. I get that. I really do. But you have to, because there's no one else to do it. You have to be the leaders. You really do. Georgia, I know, right? What a day. What a day. I was just wanting to go do some shopping, man. I mean, really. Rock and Ron, Todd Blanche's role in killing investigations into our goods killer. That is actually developing. The Democrats are working on that. That's going to be a really good story in one of the upcoming shows. They are working on the suppression of that investigation, and they are digging into the FBI right now, because the FBI doesn't do that. They don't just open and close an investigation, which is exactly what they did. We're finding out with Renee Good, it wasn't just a call for an investigation. They had carded a case, my friends. They had started an investigation and just stopped it. That is a big deal. Watch the space. More is going to come from that. Joan Nichols, new member, and thank you so much. Joan, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad. All of you new members, welcome. Welcome to the community. Yeah, there you are, Joan. Gotcha. Rockin' Robin, Texas. That guy's going to catch several felonies, and he deserves it. Paul P71, I don't know if it's just me, but I've been noticing that on some TV shows and series that there has been a lot less DEI people and things in the shows. Folks, there has been on every platform. It's like we talk about, like the Tyler Sheridan shows. He's right-wing as hell. He just says bullshit on his shows, made up bullshit, right-wing talking points on his shows. It's a thing, man. These billionaire oligarchs bought these platforms for a reason. And there's no alternative. Look, I'm out here hawking coffee cups, and your donations are paying the bills. You're what allowed me to be a full-time commentator. That's it. On the other end of it, man, you have got oligarchs that are, they buy networks. They fund these, like Turning Point USA. How do you think Turning Point USA became what it was? Do you think that, Charlie Jerk was just really good? No. He had huge injections of cash so that he could travel around and recruit people full time. It was a billionaire oligarch that bought it. We don't have that on the left, folks. It's just a bunch of scrappers out here. Midas built what they built from the ground up. Brando, he did what he did. He took so much heat in Tennessee, man. Let me tell you something. He took a shit ton of hate. It's like me here out in Longview in the kind of place that's so red that people are scared to put bumper stickers on their car. I'm out here being my loudmouth ass and the kind of person that you see I am. We don't have that shit on the left to bias our platforms. We got to earn it. Vincent, thanks for being here, brother. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm loving the fact that the photos coming through there, Vince. I do. I noticed the icons coming through. I love that, man. Brando is good. Brando is good. You know why? Because he's sincere. The guy you see on his show is exactly the guy I know. Everything he looks at is every way he addresses everything is exactly coming from the person that he is, man. He is very refreshing. Glenn, thank you, brother. I really appreciate you always being here, man. Thank you. Well, anyways, folks, I've run a little bit over. It has been wonderful talking with you today. I hope you found what I've been doing today useful. We will see you again in just a few days. We'll see you on Friday. Looking forward to it. I am looking forward to in conversations with Bobby Cole. He is the one of the Democrats running for governor. He's fighting his ass off to get through the primaries. We'll see how that works. He's going to be here on Sunday to talk to you. He's a good old boy. He's a farmer. He's a real person. That's what you demanded from the Democratic Party, that they put real people up to run for office, not just a bunch of politicians. That's what Bobby Cole is. He's going to join us for a few minutes on Sunday. I'm looking forward to that. So I hope you can be here. I hope you can be here. I like Ben. I do. I like Ben. I like Brett, and I love Jordy. I love Jordy to death. Jordy is by far the sweetest of the three brothers. He really is. He really is. He's a sweetheart. Skeet said, right now, this is a repeat of the robber barons period with a huge slice of 1930s Germany. But you know what? I don't know. One last question before we call it a show. Before we call it a show. I am talking to Tallarico's people also. Again, have not heard back from Jasmine Crockett's people, but I've heard back from Tallarico's people. We're in talks with them. He is so busy. I'm going to see if I can't get him for about 10 minutes. That's about it. He's going to be in and out. He is same with Bobby Cole. Bobby Cole has gone through like, a complete set of tires driving around. Every time I see that guy, follow him on social media, Bobby Cole for governor. Every day he is somewhere different in the state of Texas, man. They are living out of hotels and suitcases, and they are just going out and they are talking to people every damn day doing the work. Christopher, thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the show. Well, folks, that's what I have for you today. Keep up the good fight. Keep doing the good work. Thank you for being here. We're going to give Weirdo Idaho Liberal the last word. I love the picture, man. I love the picture. I'm a weirdo Jedi against MAGA dark side diluted with STD severely Trump diluted. On that note, enjoy some Texas cities at night.